All right, we are backstage here at Winnipeg Comiccon. This panel just let out. Incredible panel hosted by our program director, Cliff Caporali. You're wonderful. It was like watching a TED Talk with you guys. It was just so much inspiration in those. Well, yeah, Giancarlo. I mean, I had you before in front of an audience. It's like life lessons when we get all of you together. How important is it for you to spread that energy to other people?
Yeah.
Paul, say something.
Honestly, you know what? You come to these events for love of fandom, to celebrate, and like you said, it was like it's so inspirational. Like I was telling Giancarlo before, I was a big fan before, but even more now, because he spoke such truths and he was so honest and impassioned. And I kind of love the fact that these panel discussions have become so much more because of the strikes.
Right.
Than, what was it like being on the show or this or that? They're the actual life lessons that inspire, that get people to think about different things, and done in such a masterful way. Like, I was just in awe. I was so happy to be on stage to just watch this and to be part of that. So, yeah.
I wish Giancarlo was a little more eloquent. That's the only problem.
Please.
He just can't put words together and say anything of meaning. I don't know. Can you work on that?
I'll work on it. Simply, for me, when I come to Comic-Cons, I see people that get out of their bodies. They get out of themselves. And they're in this wonder, enchantment, and joy. It's what I say. And I mean it, because they cosplay and they have a sense of a different kind of inner strength, a different kind of inner joy. They're having a fun time. They're with people who are like-minded, who look at them and say, wow, you look great. And so when do we do that in our lives? Wow, you look great. Like I was sitting there with Carl, and I went, oh, I love his scarf. And I looked at Emily, oh, I love her scarf too.
I love hers more.
When do we start with that? And that's some truth and disarming, and it's something nice to say. Like, when do we simply crack our cheeks and smile at each other without saying a word?
Right.
So I love coming to these because it gives me the opportunity to really be real. And if I can get around my awkwardness and my uncomfortable feelings and just be really real, then it changes me. And that's a reflection of everyone else, and it's fun. So I love these panels for that reason.
Carl,
this is what Paul was saying. We're getting to the heart of so many of the reasons that we all come to these conventions in the first place, because we're not asking just the surface questions about, like, what was it like to be on this show or that show, but this is the real thing that connects all of us, and I think brings the fans, who are the types of fans who, when it comes to conventions, we all gather here because of this spiritual connection that we have to each other and the stories that we tell. And I feel like anytime I get to be on a panel with these guys, I just want to sit there and listen. Yeah. I love hearing all of it.
Carl, 1970 Raiders.
Who was the Raiders, and when was 1970? Did that actually happen?
Played in the NFL. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
21-year-old kid. Come on, what is there to tell? I had no idea what I was involved in. Oh, I remember. The weird thing is, those you remember because it's so much of a building block of who you ultimately become.
Right.
So in your infancy, there are things that happen that actually are I guess, kind of the roadmap, or begin the roadmap, So, of course, I remember it. I remember all the great players. I remember the great moments, of course. And guess what? It led me here, I was part of those, one of those cells, if you will, that got me here. So, yes, I remember it. It was a lot of fun.
Very, very cool.
A lot of fear, a lot of trepidation, and fortunately some success.
Awesome. Come check them out this weekend, all weekend long here at Winnipeg Comiccon.